Now, an interesting thing about these two being together is that in Rebellion, Sayaka mentioned to Homura that even though they were trapped in a fake world, it wouldn't be so bad to stay in it. Now, look at what Homura actually did. She made a fake world herself that caters to the desires of the other girls, even if it's against their will. Now, what if Homura got Sayaka to remember her past memories, but not as far as to uncover the sacrifice Madoka made? Because I believe that the only problem that Sayaka has with the fake world is that Madoka was stripped away of her godhood and her sacrifice was made in vain. Otherwise, the whole situation is not unlike the labyrinth they were in earlier, and Sayaka had no problem with it, and even encouraged Homura to just accept it, like she had. Now, what if Homura got her to remember her past memories, but not as far back as to uncover the sacrifice Madoka made? So if Homura got Sayaka to remember her painful past, and that Homura gave her a second chance at being happy in life, I wouldn't call it a stretch to say that Sayaka would side with her. She would be hesitant to do so at first because she's always been suspicious of Homura, but eventually she would side with her and forsake Madoka for trying to undo the fake world Homura created. Now, this is basically the theory that we are going to be focused on in today's theory analysis, and this theory is, what if the tragic tale of Sayaka Miki didn't end with despair, but instead took a surprising turn? Today, we're going to be diving into the alternative retelling of the Madoka Magica anime, focusing on a fascinating twist in the Rebellion movie. What if Sayaka became Homura's knight? Throughout Rebellion, we witness a world that's an intricate labyrinth of desires, a place where the magical girls find themselves trapped in a dreamlike existence. Sayaka, who's always been driven by her sense of justice and loyalty, surprises us when she suggests that staying in this fabricated world wouldn't be so bad. In this moment, Sayaka's words reveal a significant shift in her perspective. She acknowledges the falseness of their surroundings, but is willing to accept it. The key here is that the world, while artificial, is designed to cater to the desires and happiness of the girls, an echo of the labyrinth they were once trapped in. Now, fast forward to the conclusion of Rebellion, where Homura creates her own version of a perfect world, a world where the other girls can live happily, even if it's against their will. This world isn't so different from the labyrinth Sayaka accepted earlier, but what if, instead of opposing Homura, Sayaka could be swayed to her side? Homura, ever the strategist, understands the power of memories, knowing that Sayaka's biggest issue with this new world is the erasure of Madoka's sacrifice. Homura takes a calculated risk. She allows Sayaka to regain her past memories, her battles, her pain, and her descent into despair, but stops just short of revealing Madoka's true identity as a goddess. Now, this is actually something that happens at the end of Rebellion when Sayaka is forced to rekindle her feelings for Kyosuke and her jealousy over the Hitomi situation. We saw within the Rebellion movie she had found peace with the whole thing of Hitomi and Kyosuke, but at the end, because of what Homura does to Sayaka's memories, those feelings of pain resurface. So it's not a far stretch to say that an alternative timeline could be created where Homura does this very same thing, but goes much further with it in order for Sayaka to become her loyal knight. In Homura's world, she has been given a second chance, a life where she can be happy, where she isn't abandoned, where she isn't doomed to repeat her tragic fate. Sayaka confronts Homura, suspicious of her motives as always. But as Homura explains her reasoning, showing Sayaka the pain she spared her from, Sayaka begins to see things differently. It's not that Homura is the enemy, it's that she's offering something that Sayaka never thought possible, a chance at happiness without the constant burden of sacrifice. Sayaka is torn. Her loyalty to Madoka is strong, but she can't ignore the fact that in this world, everyone she cares about is safe and content. The Labyrinth anthology comes full circle. Here, Sayaka accepted it once, and now, faced with a similar situation, she must decide whether to accept it again. Ultimately, Sayaka chooses to side with Homura. She sees this not as a betrayal of Madoka, but as a way to protect the happiness they all fought so hard for. In a sense, Sayaka becomes Homura's knight, her protector in this delicate balance of reality and illusion. But it's not an easy alliance. Sayaka remains weary of Homura, her loyalty tempered by caution, yet she understands that in this world, this carefully crafted illusion, there is something worth protecting. And so, Sayaka becomes a knight, not just in name, but in spirit, willing to do what it takes to preserve the fragile piece Homura has created. In this retelling of Madoka Magica, Sayaka's journey takes a different path. By embracing the second chance Homura offers, she finds a new purpose. It's a bittersweet ending, one that challenges the notions of good and evil and right and wrong. What do you think of this alternative ending to the Rebellion movie and beyond? Could Sayaka really become Homura's knight, or would her loyalty to Madoka prevent her from ever siding with the demon? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more Madoka theories. And until next time, this is RFD, aka Reporting for Duty, and I have reported for duty. See you later.